Welcome guys, in this video we're going to take a look at serializing objects. In other words, taking objects and then saving them and then reconstituting them. And you can do this on your drive, you can do this across networks and so on. We'll take a look at a simple example on the drive. So, enter Visual Studio, make a templated project as always, and let's type here using system and then using system.io and then one more. Using system.runtime.serialization.formatters.binary, like that. Okay? So remember, the purpose is save an object to the hard drive and then reconstitute the object for later use, essentially, or for communication across networks. Okay, so add a namespace here, sample, and now you're going to add a public class person, and you're going to decorate this. I misspelled class. You're going to decorate this by typing here within square brackets serializable, like that. Okay, that's an attribute. There you go. And now we're going to declare a couple fields. We'll make these public for the sake of simplicity. Of course, in real life, data should be protected with private, and then you should have properties and methods that access it. Okay, so public class person, and now we're going to say here this.fname. Let me declare the fields first. Public string fname, and then public string lname for first and last. Alright, this f, and then public person. I gotta slow down, I type too fast sometimes. And now we're going to say string last, and then string first. And now set the instance variables, so this.fname equals first, and this.lname equals last, like that. So build the object, essentially. That's what we're doing at that stage. Alright, after the class has been declared serializable, and delete this. So we're keeping this simple but still instructive, hopefully. Let's make a new class here, so class program. That. And now you're going to make a static void main, as always. Now within that body, you are going to do the serializing and then reconstituting of the object. And serialize means save to hard drive, to a binary file. So person PR equals new person. So if we are going to make a person object, and then Smith, and then here we are going to say John and close it with a semicolon. So it looks like this. Okay, so we're making a John Smith here. Then you're gonna make a stream and then give it the name of writer, and you're gonna say file.create, like this, and you're gonna do a little roll, so make sure you have that symbol there. Now you will say C, and then users tom/obj/person.bin, and close that with a semicolon. Okay, so this will save our person object, and now we're gonna say here binary formatter new bin formatter equals new binary formatter, like that. Okay. Now, this binary formatter will be the one that is used to serialize things. So you're going to say new bin formatter that serialize, and now you're going to say writer, and then the object, and then close out with a semicolon. There you go. And at the end, of course, you're going to do a writer that close. That looks like this. All right. So we have a person, we have a stream, we have a binary formatter. The binary formatter calls the serialize method with the writer and the person, the stream in other words, and the person. And then you close it, the writer. Okay. Now we're going to do the next stage is begin by reconstituting the object. Okay, so you can say here constant string file. There you go. Now this is constant, it's coming directly from the, shouldn't be changing here for our purposes. And now you'll say here users tom obj and then person.bin, close out the semicolon. There you go. Okay, now we're going to say stream and then reader, and then you're going to say here file.open. Try that again. File.open read, like this. Okay, so it says opens an existing file for reading. and we're going to say the file there. So we'll open up file. We're going to take our binary formatter and we'll call it DESER for deserialize. We're going to say here new binary formatter, and now we're going to say person pr2 equals, and now you're going to do this. You're going to take person, so cast it to an object of type person, and you're going to say DESER dot, and then deserialize, so reconstitute, and then the reader goes out a semicolon, and then reader dot close, call that. Alright, so that looks good. Now we have to confirm that we can access the first name and last name, so we're going to say console.writeLine, and you're going to say the first name is, and then new pr2 dot, and notice that f name shows up, and then console.writeLine, the last name is, and now you're going to say comma, and then pr2.lname. Okay, so this will reconstitute the object, and now console.writeLine, and close out the semicolon. Those two lines will simply confirm, right, that the new object has been reconstituted. Okay, so we have this code here. Let's give all of this a build. And so remember, mark it as serializable, include these namespaces here, mark it as serializable. Okay, for our purposes, again, to keep it simple, so we don't have to have too much code, I'm making these fields public here. Okay, then you have the static void main, right? So you make a new object, you get a file.create call here, okay, and that's the path. You get a formatter, and then you serialize using the writer and the object, then you close the writer. Then you get the path back, and then you get a reader, so open the file for reading, get a new binary formatter, then deserialize the object, and as you do that you convert it to a person, right? That's what that is, that's a cast to the person type. Then you close that reader, and then you confirm that everything has worked by displaying the first name and last name using pr2, okay, the reconstituted version of the object. Okay, so let's go with debug. And actually, no, let's just go with, let me change this to read key here, like that, and let's hit start. And notice it says the first name is John, the last name is Smith. That confirms that it works, you see? Remember, the only time we call writeLine is after the object has been reconstituted. Okay, we don't call it before then, so it's going to be coming from these two lines here. Now, to confirm that this actually has worked, what we are going to do is, I'm using Windows 8, I'll type cmd. That's pretty much the same command in all versions of Windows. And notice there are several different prompts depending on what you have installed on your system. So let's go to command prompt, and let me navigate. I never remember cd dot means go back a directory, and here we're going to go users tom obj. Okay, so change directory, users tom obj, type dir, and notice person.bin shows up. So if you type notepad and then person.bin, it brings up this stuff here. Okay, and there's our object in binary form. As you can see, this is not very human friendly, but nevertheless some of it is still easily recognizable. Yeah, sample that person, f name, l name, John Smith, those are the values saved. There's some other decorations along the way, and also the name of the application and the version. So let's close that. If you ever want to change the version of an application, if you right click the name here, console application 408, and go to properties, and we go through some of these. You see where it says publish, major, publish version, says major, minor, build, and revision. Okay, there you go. So we can set these here. There you go. Alright. And also that tells you what the meaning is of each of the numbers that you see when the piece of software is released. Okay, and that is it for this video. So remember the big idea here: take an object, make it mark the class serializable. You can save the object and reconstitute the object, or you can pass it across networks. All kinds of things can be done, okay? For communication purposes. Alright, so thank you very much, and I'll see you in another video.